I told Mike I'm done. Like, I'm not gonna fucking play anymore.
Did
So
you guys make it to 10 points?
no, it was
So it would've been
the score.
forever.
The score was I was up 7-5, but
Oh my god, I'm glad I left.
so Mike he said fuck this and he left. So the next day, I called into work because I was like, "There's no way in hell I'm about to be fucking lifting heavy shit, bending, twisting, all this shit." And so I called into work. I go to the doctor the next day. They said there's a whole bunch. They did X-rays and they're like, "There's a whole bunch of liquid in your knee." And so they shoved a syringe. Like, I'm not talking like getting a shot, like size syringe, or like getting your blood drawn.
Yeah, no, that's how they do it to get the.
It was one of those big gauge, like turkey baster almost syringes.
Yeah, that's how they do it.
Oh yeah, I had that in my back when I had those injections.
No pain medication, no numbing, straight in, right underneath my kneecap, my patella, and they sucked out almost 10 ounces of like this clear kind of white creamy fluid.
Yeah.
And then they took an MRI and they're like, yeah, you got an MCL and an ACL strain. They might be torn. Come back in 3 days when the swelling is down. We'll be able to tell better. 3 days later, it was an MCL, ACL strain. And I have my doctor talking about how I should probably get a knee replacement in the next 5 years. I'm 28 years old, and they want me to get a fucking knee replacement.
Oh, you're getting old, dude.
Oh, my fucking
Send
God.
you out to pasture.
No, the best part was... So the best part was I go to the urgent care, all right? It's not a doctor. It's a nurse practitioner, which I get because they can make prescriptions. They're not as medically trained as doctors, but they've been there, done that. They've done their schooling. So it's cheaper for the clinic to have nurse practitioners over doctors. Mm-hmm. And so he's like poking my leg, and he's like, "Does it hurt here? Does it hurt here?" And I'm like, yes, it hurts when you push that spot right there. Right where your MCL is at. That's where he's pushing on. It fucking hurt like hell. And he goes, "Well, I'm not sure what we're looking at here." And I look at him and go, "You're looking at my knee." Like, what do you mean you're not sure what you're looking at? You fucking asshole. Really? It's a knee. There's the ACL, the MCL, the UCL. Like, what do you want to know? Like, there's the patella. There's the femur that meets the tibia and the fibula. Like, what do you want to know?
The knee bone connects to the hip bone.
It's a fucking... It's a hinge joint, not a ball and socket. And he's over here... He's literally pushing my kneecap around like it's like a fucking like a... What are those things we used to get? The fucking like little like soap filled like little things at like a fair or whatever where you can put...
You can squish it?
Yeah, to squish it and you can shove your fingers in the middle. It looks like a cat's asshole. Like, yeah. Like,
you didn't do that to the cat, did you?
Shh.
Oh, okay.
That's why I don't have cats anymore.
You have two.
Yeah, and that's why they run away from me. But no, it was one of those things that you squish around in your hand or whatever. That's what he was doing to my kneecap. He could just squeeze it, and it was just moving around like. And he was like, "I don't know what we're looking at. It's my fucking knee."
I don't know, Dad.
I don't know, Dad. All right.
Damn it, Bubba.
So, Eric, we talked about this last week, but we didn't actually talk about it on the show. So, video game ideas. Brian, I feel like you're going to like what Eric has to say. His changes to Madden.
Yeah.
Okay.
What he wanted.
So, actually, crazy story. One of my relatives actually got a contract with EA Sports as a consultant for Madden in the range of like kicking, because he's a kicking coach for the NFL.
Yep.
And I was living with them at the time, so he's like, "Oh, well, you play Madden a lot, and you know video games. What would be a good adjustment to that game?" And I was sitting there. I played a lot of like golf, like Tiger Woods. I played hockey, NHL. I was thinking, well, what if the kicking game, you flicked the Joy-Con forward, and it actually created like like a motion sensor for where you're kicking it. So it actually had to be like, you know how when you shoot the puck in NHL,
Yeah.
Use the
You-
pro
you
stick.
use
Yeah,
pro
use a pro
stick.
stick.
to like or
To aim
right or
it,
left
yeah.
or whatever.
Right.
Well, it would be like a timing mechanism where you would time up the kick and then flick it the right way.
Right.
So it'd be more of like an interactive experience, except for just press X and automatically
Press
score the
X to
point.
the
So, Brian-
power meter to the accuracy meter.
So, Brian, when I was talking to him, it was basically like in golf, where it follows how you do the stick.
Right.
And if you do the stick a little bit to the left or a little bit to the right, it makes you pull left. It makes
Right,
you pull
yeah.
right or push right, like something like that. Like that's
Like a
literally
hidden
what Eric
factor.
wants.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No,
Instead
I
of
get
just
that.
hitting X twice and then letting the kicker kick the kick.
Right.
And there's
Like, make
actually
the
an
game interesting, make it fun.
yeah, there's actual some skill,
Yeah.
some timing, some aiming to it instead of just making a kick in Madden at like automatic.
Right. Yeah. No, I get that.
Yeah, like when I heard him say that,
Yeah, it makes sense.
I stood up and I applauded him. Like, but God forbid EA actually puts in some fucking effort into their
That
games
would require
anymore.
recoding something.
Especially probably one of their top selling games. Right there,
Yeah,
so.
well, except for the last edition of Madden was the worst rated sports game in history.
Yeah,
Right.
everyone's fucking
Well, again,
done
like,
with
yeah.
their microtransactions.
Yeah, they don't put effort anymore because they don't have competition anymore.
Right.
They don't have competition, so basically every new year of Madden is a $60 roster update. It's the same shit every time.
Which you could just do on the regular game, to be honest. Or like the previous
you can just
game.
Yeah.
Download a save file that someone probably has online and upload it to your game, and everything would be updated.
See, my thing that I would change is with NBA 2K. Me and Brian were playing this last night, and he knows my frustration is they have too much of a TV presentation where you can't skip shit.
Oh yeah,
Like interviews with players. I don't care about a pre-recorded interview with the player and his fucking in-game appearance. Or like when you're at timeout and you can't
Right.
skip timeout until it gets to 55 seconds. Like, fuck you. I don't want all this extra shit. I just want to play the game and be done. I don't want here's our State Farm assist of the game. Now this year with NBA 2K1, 2K21 is here's our Mobile One block of the game. Like the commercialization of these sports video games is just getting way too fucking much. And
like, don't we already give them enough money at the beginning, like $60 a game,
we pay
and every fucking year? It's not like back in the old days where a game would come out once every 4 years, and that's what they were relying on.
we pay the price for the game. We should get the whole content, nothing else for that price.
Yeah, make a second game or make a sequel.
Well, or
to
do
that game
or
if you
do
don't
like
add stuff.
do like a deluxe or an MVP version of that
Yeah.
game that has extra stuff. And if you want to spend extra money, then you get extra things to the game.
Right.
But the fact that I got to pay, $60 for NBA 2K21, and then I got to watch all this stupid, here's our State Farm this, here's our Mobile One that, here's our Gatorade this, here's our Air Jordan player of the game. You're being slapped with all these fucking commercials
Well,
that you can't skip.
it's not any different than real
Let
life.
me play the fucking game. Yeah, in real life,
Ads
yeah,
are
that's how they make the money for fucking TV revenue is they have to sell airtime on TV for money, for revenue. But you're selling a game for revenue and then you're adding ads on top of it. The fuck? And this whole it costs $10,000 for a Nike T-shirt in the fucking swag store shop or whatever it's called. Fucking ridiculous. Are you kidding me?
Well, it should be back in the old days when the games were out. You would unlock certain appearances. You would unlock certain characters, like Tony Hawk. You could be Officer, or whatever his name is, if you beat the game in a certain way.
Yeah.
Like it be where you're unlocking stuff by achievements or
Yeah,
by
actually
gameplay.
playing the game and actually beating certain things, actually having a skill level, not just having your stepmom's credit card whose name's Courtney,
You
and
didn't actually
and you
know
pay
that you're paying for it.
yeah, and you're paying $60 for the game and another $100 for all these unlocks and everything. I know there's been fucking things in Congress that they're trying to get rid of this pay-to-play shit, but that shit needs to hurry up.
Yeah.
Because especially EA Sports. EA Sports, and who's the one that does, was it Blizzard?
Blizzard's not bad.
What's the other one? The one that does, fuck, I'm blanking on it.
It's not Activision.
No, Activision's getting bad.
Ubisoft.
That's it. Yep.
Yeah, they do like the Assassin's
yeah.
Creed game.
Yeah, they're getting fucking pretty bad. But it's these whole
Like
fucking
Epic Games.
Epic. That's the one I was thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy was like, "What? You guys don't have phones?" Where they were like the fans at this con were
Oh, that was
expecting.
Blizzard.
What was it? Blizzard? Yeah,
Blizzard's
Blizzard.
The one for,
yeah.
like StarCraft and
Yeah, they were like
Warcraft.
all the fans at this con were expecting a new game to be released, and then it was like
Diablo.
and it was a mobile version of the game, and all the fans started booing, and the guy.
I mean, they were waiting for that game for like 6 years to be announced, and then they sit there and get excited, and oh no, it's a mobile game. It's like, oh, everybody's gonna love this because you can go and
it's
wait 2 hours.
It's a
after
pay to play. It's one of those where if you use all your XP, you have to pay or wait 24 hours to do it again.
Which is the dumbest fucking mechanic in a game.
Yeah,
Don't try to sell me a game that I have to sit there and wait time to play. Like,
it's
you
one
should
of
get your players to play the game and actually enjoy it.
It's one of those what South Park called those freemium games. They're free to download, but then you got to pay to actually play the game. Like, and the guy's like, "What? You guys don't have phones?" Under a chorus of boos from thousands of people. Like, fuck yourselves.
All right.
God, I fucking hate video games nowadays. There's nothing original. It's all. Here's the game for $60. By the way, if you pay $120, then you can unlock all this shit. Fuck them, honestly.
Well, even with that, like, movies are the same way nowadays. It's like there's nothing original. They just change the story a little bit, and it's just.
And honestly, there needs to be, instead of 12 fucking streaming apps out there, there needs to be like 3 or 4.
Yeah, and that's what you call network cable.
I'm sick of paying for Disney Plus, Paramount Plus, Discovery Plus, Netflix, Hulu. Like,
and 12 years ago, we were sitting there saying, "Oh, I hate paying for cable. I only want to watch Disney Plus or Netflix or Hulu."
Mm-hmm.
We were like, "Oh, can ESPN?"
There
break
needs
out? I
to
don't
be
wanna pay for everything.
There needs to be a streaming service that agrees with all these networks to have their content and actually be at a reasonable price. The fact that I gotta have fucking 6 streaming services just to watch the movies and TV shows that I want to watch, it's ridiculous.
There's sites around.
All right, so outside of that, you remember last week when I had us text Tom Brady?
Yes.
So I have an update of texting Tom Brady.
Did you get a restraining order?
No response.
Oh, well, shocker.
I even texted him on Friday saying you're my favorite hockey player of all time. Nothing. Not a damn thing came
Are
from.
you shocked?
I'm hurt because I've been a Tom Brady fan for like 19 years. So yeah,
We heard about it for every fucking year.
Yeah, I'm a little hurt. It makes me a little sad, but you know what? He's a busy man. He's a 7-time Super Bowl champion. So, yeah, he's got some other things on his plate other than responding to some drunken asshole in Minnesota about him being his favorite hockey player. So, there's that. Tom Brady, if you're listening, I'm hurt. I understand, but it doesn't make the tears taste any sweeter at night. So, there's that. Brian's falling asleep over there. Brian, are you okay?
No.
I think think he's trying to taste
That's
his
probably-
tears.
That's probably the most intelligent thing he's ever said. No, that was the most intelligent thing he's ever said. Quickly, happenings in sports.